What's up? I've decided to make a little quick video on this 2018 Chevy Impala Premier. And the reason I'm making this video is because there wasn't really a good video explaining how to do the thermostat, because every video I saw was either about like a 2012, 2014, and I just wanted to give y'all more of a better look and a better video on how to change out a thermostat. So guys, as we see here, I've already kind of started a little bit, and I got the cover off, which is just pretty much going to be one bolt that's holding it, and then it presses onto these little things right here. And on a 2018 Chevy Impala Premier, the thermostat is actually on the driver's side, and it's actually going to be right here. For all those people that are wondering where it's at, it was actually under this cover thing, and pretty much it's just something that goes on like this, and you'll pretty much have to get it out. It had a bolt right here. There's one bolt right there, and then a little tab, something like this, that you just pop off, and then you'll be able to pull it out. And yeah, so right now what we're doing is I'm flushing out the coolant. Have the cap open over there. I'm flushing it out, and I'll take you along with me step by step and get it done. Hopefully there'll be a quick fix and a short video.
Famous last words.
The bleeder actually ended up being a black tab. I know that they were saying like it was supposed to be a white, but it's actually black, as you can see right there. That's where the fluid is coming from. And I have it just draining a little bit, and I'm just trying to catch it all. Because this stuff is actually very dangerous and can possibly have like heavy metals in there. Just be careful when doing this. I think I'm about to close it off because I don't need all of it to be drained out when I'm doing the thermostat. Just want to let y'all know that that's what it is. It's not white. It can be a little tough to open if it's never been opened or it's never been touched. So I used a little bit of a wrench to help me turn it. And the way you'll turn it is going to be counterclockwise. So it's going to be a lefty-loosey, righty-tighty type of thing. So there's actually a little place where you can actually attach a hose, and that just helps it drain a little cleaner compared to what you're seeing on the video. But I just wanted to let y'all know that. Alright guys, so what I'm doing right here is I'm actually taking the bolts off, and if I remember correctly, they're actually going to be 10 millimeters, all three of them. And what I was able to do is I was able to get a little swivel with my socket and then a little extension to get in there, because I could not fit the ratchet and the actual socket down there because of that. I believe it's the transmission hose or the ABS hose or something like that that was in the way. I'm wondering if I should unplug the hoses first before I take it off.
Obviously.
Okay guys, all jokes aside, yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to leave the bolts inside and actually taking off the hoses first, which I don't know what I was thinking, but I took off the bolts first and then I had to put them back in there so I could take off the hoses a lot better. Otherwise that thermostat housing is moving everywhere. And I know that y'all are seeing the liquid pour out of this. That is perfectly normal. Every single thermostat that I've ever had to take off just always has a little bit of coolant in there. You know, to me, I've done it like maybe about 3 times already. That's what I've noticed. So I think it's perfectly fine as long as you try to catch most of the fluid as much you can. Just try your best, you know, because it's important to not have this hazardous material go into our soil. Oh, so this one's a little shorter. So you have to remember that this one goes at the very bottom because these bolts are a little different. So this one goes on the one on the side where it's by itself. This one goes at the bottom where the 2 bolts are at, and this is a short one. And then this one, I don't know what size it's gonna be. So it's actually two. Okay, so those two over there on the side are the same size, and then there's a long one. And then this comes out. So yeah, guys, like I said, take the hoses off before you take the whole thing out. Otherwise, it's gonna not come out.
Come on, let's do this the easy way, all right?
I was actually wondering what this piece of toilet paper looking thing was, but it's actually to help you get the old thermostat out. And that way you can press it inward into this. And I can't take it out right now because it's actually compressed and I'm scared I'm gonna get my fingers. But what you do is the thermostat was in here like this into the housing. What you'll do is you'll press it with this toilet paper thing, looking thing, and you'll twist it, and then it comes out naturally. So we were suspecting that it was maybe a thermostat sensor that was causing her temperature gauge to not read and completely shut off the temperature sensing. So like the symptoms were the fans would stay on after the car was turned off, and the temperature was not within operating spec. From what I can tell, from what I researched in this car, the operating spec is supposed to be between 195 to 210. So if the computer thinks that it's not within that spec, it makes it go crazy, or makes it think that it's going to overheat. And back to what I was saying. So the thermostat, we were suspecting that the thermostat was messed up because the temperature was always dropping below the operating temperature, which the operating temperature is supposed to be about 195 to 210, and it's supposed to stay in that within that range. Her car was actually going down to like 180, 177, sometimes as far as down as 160, especially when it was a cold weather. And we suspected that it was the thermostat sensor, so we replaced that just to be sure, because that's the cheapest part. But what turned out to be was the actual thermostat itself that was stuck open. And now that I'm looking at it, I don't think it was stuck open, but if you can see, all these gaskets have been just worn out. So now from actually taking it apart and looking at it, I know now that it was the thermostat sensor, or the thermostat itself, that was not good anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that with extra part that we got from O'Reilly's. One thing I like to do is always compare my parts that I'm looking at to make sure that they're the same. From me looking at this, I don't know if they gave us the right part or not. So I'm gonna do some more research on this and just make sure, double check before I put something in, because that's just something that I like to do. But anyways, guys, we'll keep on working on this, and if I have any more updates, I will let you know. All right, guys. So what I'm doing right now is just comparing these parts. I thought they were gonna be different parts, but after taking it off and examining it some more, I just realized that this was just pushed in to where the actual housing holds it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that same method by using the toilet paper to push this in, to compress it back into the housing itself. And as you can tell over here on the housing, let me show you. There's these little two clips right here, and that's where it's gonna sit. Now, the pointy side, this right here, is gonna go in to a little spot in the housing itself. I don't know if you can tell if it's in there or not. There's an actual spot in there that these little pin looking thing goes in there. So I'm gonna work on trying to put that back in, and I think that should take care of the repair. So that, and it's always very important that once you open it up, you make sure that you always put a new gasket, just in case. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this part and then put this back together and fill her back up with coolant, and we should be okay. We should be good now.
Sponsored.
Dude, am I missing? Oh, there we go. All right, guys, this is me making sure that the gasket is the way we're supposed to be, and looks like it's gonna be a perfect fit. So I'm just gonna knock those things out. That way the bolts can go in there and start putting it all back together. All right, guys, I finally got it all done, fixed up, put back together. Oh man, I hate these clamps right here that go on these hoses because I was having the biggest trouble trying to put this back together. But I put them all back. Make sure that you put in the little black. Make sure y'all put the gaskets into the bolts themselves. There's gonna be 3 of them. Sometimes when you take them off, they like to hang inside the little cylinder where the bolt goes. So just make sure you don't lose that. Make sure you tighten them down. These weren't really all that tight, too hard. Well, not as hard as I could, but I just tied them up pretty snug. Because you also don't want to over tighten these because this is an aluminum, and you will strip it out pretty quickly if you over tighten it. So just remember how tight they are when you take it off, and just try to snug it back up to where it was. And also don't forget your gasket, and then put everything back the way it was, and you should be good after that. So now it's time to fill up the coolant and check for leaks, and then we're gonna go ahead and start putting back together, and then we'll end up going to burp the system. All right, guys, now we're gonna go ahead and fill this up back with some coolant. But before we turn on the car or do anything, before I put this cover back on too, I'm gonna make sure that this is not leaking. And once I see that it's not leaking, then I'll go ahead and turn on the car and we'll start to try to burp the system. Make sure we get out all the air in the lines, and we'll go from there. So far so good. No leaks. You see those bubbles? So if y'all are seeing that on the camera, those are the bubbles. That means that there's air in the lines. So once those bubbles go away, normally it means that all the air is out. But what we're also going to do is we're also going to turn on the car, and we are going to put the heater on full blast. Sorry, not full blast, but high heat. That way it runs through the cooler and the heater core, and that way it runs through all parts of the engine, and make sure that there's no air pockets in there.
Why don't you just pour that in there?
I guess I could have done that, huh?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so far it's full. I'm gonna leave the cap open. That way it doesn't pressurize the system. And next thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and turn it on. Actually, let me put this cap back on now that I know that nothing is leaking. And then we'll go ahead and turn on the car because I don't want to put that back on when it gets too hot. So let me do that real quick, and we'll go ahead and burp the system here in a second. Oh man, I gotta figure out how I did this now. All right, guys, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the car. Jennifer's gonna keep an eye on the temperature, and I'm gonna be keeping an eye on the coolant itself down here. As the coolant gets hot, the thermostat should be opening up, and with her heat on high, I should be able to see it circulating, or I should make sure that it's, I'm gonna make sure that it's circulating all the way. And hopefully some of this coolant goes down a little bit. That way it pushes out all the air, and that will complete our repair. So here we go. Then when we got Jennifer over there, she's over there looking at the thermostat temperature, and we're gonna make sure that everything is running in order, making sure that there's no leaks. As you can see down here, I don't see any leaks down here where I did my repair, which means we're doing good so far. Everything's running good. So yeah, so I just want to show what Jennifer's looking at. She's looking at the reading on her coolant temperature, and so far so good. Everything's heating up like it should be. We got the heat on high over there, and hopefully once it hits around 210, 205, the thermostat opens up. Maybe 195, it opens up and it maintains a operating temperature of 195 to 210. And that means everything's pretty good. But yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick little video out of this, just because when I looked up the videos on how to do this repair, they didn't show any good videos, and everything just, I just didn't like them. So I just figured I'd take it upon myself and decided to go ahead and film this video. And hopefully it clarifies a little bit more of the questions that I've been wondering as I did this repair myself. Repair on a 1 to 10 scale, I would have to say it was probably a 3 for me, 4. Wasn't the hardest repair ever. The only thing I had the most trouble on right now was just the clamps themselves on the hose. And other than that, I didn't have too much trouble. But if you are mechanically inclined and you have a 2018 Chevy Impala Premier, I am pretty confident you'd be able to do this job pretty easy, considering where the position of the thermostat housing was. And it wasn't too bad of a repair job. It took me about maybe 2.5 hours, and just because of the driving back and forth to get water, get that coolant mixed up, and dealing with the hose clamps. It's, like I said, it's pretty much the only struggle I had there. All right, guys, so we just went around the block, and we're holding good at 199 right now, which is within operating temperature. And if this girl had more gas, I would go ahead and take it out for a longer spin, but she's not on gas. She does not have enough gas to do that. So we're probably gonna hit up a gas station here in a little bit and fill up and actually go on a actual drive to make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to be. So that's the end of the video, and I hope y'all like it. I know it was a little short one, but a very important one in my opinion. And you know, normally I didn't think I was gonna be doing a bunch of car repair videos on my YouTube channel, but I've actually enjoyed doing it. So I'm gonna have a little section to where I have it to where I do repair things. So if y'all are interested in repair jobs and stuff like that, y'all go check out that little section, go check out that little playlist, and I'll catch you on the next repair I do, and we'll see where we go from here. So I hope it was informative, and I hope it helps people out there that, you know, are looking for these videos, because I know I was, and I feel like I hopefully did a better explanation when it came to installing this part, taking it off and on, and giving you an idea of how hard it was. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.